An original podcast from podlatino.com.
You might never have listened to them directly, but if you've ever felt that love can hurt, that silence can be louder than words, that beauty can live inside sadness, then somehow you already know The Cure. They weren't just a band, they were a mood, a climate, a way of translating emotional weight into melody and mystery. It all began in Crawley, England in the late 1970s. While punk was exploding in rage and raw energy, a quiet, pale young man with dark eyes and a fragile voice was writing songs that whispered rather than screamed. His name was Robert Smith, and what he started would soon become The Cure. The name itself carried irony, because there was no cure in their music, only echoes, longing, and a rare kind of beauty that didn't want to please. Only to be honest, their first album, Three Imaginary Boys, had post-punk tension, minimalist guitars, and the cold distance of someone trying to figure themselves out. But what came next was different. A descent, not into chaos, but into the deepest rooms of the soul. 17 Seconds, Faith, Pornography. 3 albums that built an atmosphere of grey. Not sadness for show, but honest, quiet despair. A soundtrack for those who felt too much but said too little. Robert Smith once said their music was for when everything collapses inside. Millions understood, but The Cure didn't stay in the dark. Or maybe they painted the dark in brighter tones. In the mid-80s, their sound began to shift, without losing its soul. In Between Days, Close to Me, Just Like Heaven, pop melodies with heartbroken lyrics, danceable sorrow, songs that smiled with tears behind them. It was contradiction at its finest. And it conquered the world. And then came Love Song, a track that captured the essence of longing with only a few lines. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am home again. No drama, no theatrics, just fragile love, spoken plainly. It wasn't about perfect romance. It was about shelter in chaos, about someone who makes you feel real. Robert Smith never wanted to be a star. He became one anyway. His wild hair, smeared lipstick, black clothes, a symbol. But under the look there was integrity. He didn't chase trends. He didn't bend to the industry. He wrote what he felt, and the world followed. The Cure created more than music. They created belonging. For the introverts, the misfits, the romantics who lived in minor chords, the ones who knew that joy could come wrapped in pain. A Cure concert wasn't a show. It was a communion, a collective ache, a place where your sadness was understood and even honoured. Then came Disintegration, maybe their masterpiece, an album that didn't aim for radio, it aimed for honesty. With tracks like Plain Song, Pictures of You, Lullaby, it painted grief, memory and beauty with unmatched grace. It was like reading someone's diary by candlelight, intimate, raw, and echoing long after it ended. Over 4 decades, The Cure has endured, not by reinventing themselves for the market, but by staying true to their emotional DNA. They didn't release albums to stay relevant. They released them when they had something to say, and when they did, it mattered. In 2019, they entered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Robert Smith, true to form, said, "It's a bit weird, but I suppose it's nice." And that was it. No drama, just The Cure being The Cure. Today, listening to them still feels like walking through fog, with your heart on your sleeve. Their songs don't age. They live in emotion, not time. And that's the power they have. Not to fix you, not to cure you, but to make you feel seen. Rock in the Blood honours those who didn't chase stardom, but chase truth. And The Cure gave truth a soundtrack, one filled with sighs, shadows, and the beautiful ache of being human, because sometimes we don't need answers. We just need a song that understands how it feels when your heart breaks slowly.